But also, we have more room on the sign-up sheet for those who have a passion to try this. I'm looking at you, Derek.
Is he saying he penetrated Jesus' butthole? Is that what
that was in the subtext. All right, well, I forgot your intro, Cody. Now I fucked it up.
Doesn't matter.
Everybody, from another world, from another place, from another time, give it up for the lovely, lovely Cody, everybody. Give it up for him.
Thank you. There, that's better. How is everybody? Good. So, some religious jokes. I think I've got some in here. Joseph Smith, where is it? Muhammad, damn it. Anyway, they're pretty good. Someone got it, did they? Okay, come on. It's fucking funny. It's the opposite of what everyone expected. Anyway, yeah, can't joke about that. Anyway, so, as Brando said, we are not real comedians up here. That is probably obvious at this point. And, but has anybody heard? Give me that. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, shorter cord. Be careful. All right, so yeah, we're not real comedians, which is obvious. And but has anybody heard Shane Gillis? I'm sure we've all heard him. There we go. Real comedian.
Does he work at the mail down here?
Probably. For the insurance. That's probably what he does it for. But anyway, he does a bit about George Washington. And then the reason why he did what he did is because he had the dentures that had lead in them. And I'm like, Shane, I think I can disagree. I don't think he did that because of the dentures and the lead in his body for a decade. I think, no, let's get deeper. Why did he need the dentures? Because he didn't have teeth. Why didn't he have teeth? Because he grounded them off because he's on drugs. That's why. George Washington was on drugs. No teeth, grounded them out, needed dentures. Bad idea, and be able to follow through on it. Crossing the Delaware when it's frozen. Not a good idea, you're in a rowboat. No. But he followed through with a bad idea. You know who else does that? People on drugs. And so, and I also think probably my final point on that is that also, George Washington dismantled the British Army and left it scattered across the colonies and didn't put it back together. You know who else does that? Dismantle things and doesn't put it back together? People on drugs, yes. So George Washington was on drugs. But speaking of dead presidents, it was Saturday was the 62nd anniversary of JFK. It was, I believe, Saturday. And I think next year they're going to have RFK actually ride in the motorcade route, right? And then they're going to stop right where the first shot was fired. And he's going to give his speech because he sounds just like his uncle did after the first shot. And then they'll continue on. So some people think that's a mean joke. I'm like, no, you know what a mean joke would be? It's like, let's have him do a speech at the Ambassador in Los Angeles. That would be a mean joke. So, and then I also noticed at the dead president of Cheney's funeral, all the former living presidents. I saw them all there, and I went, I can remember every one of those campaigns they had. Looking at that, like that means I'm old if I can remember them. I remember the '92 election. What I remember about that was the SNL skit. Ross Perot, can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? May I finish? Will you let me finish? Ross Perot did that. That was great. '92. Dana Carvey. And then the 96 election, I just remember Norm Macdonald, I'm Bob Dole. That's who we ran against the whole time, war hero, twitching. And then as I got a little older in the 2000 election, George Bush, I just remember the hanging Chad in Florida. How I thought that was a great costume. My name is Chad with a noose around your neck. Like that was my favorite from that year. And then 2004 was with doesn't matter Kerry, but the Skull and Crossbones connection. One puppeteer, two puppets is what I thought of. That's when I realized that's what politics was. And then my all-time favorite was the 2008 election of Barack Obama. What I remember the most about that was I think Sarah Palin was the first politician I ever jerked off to. Like she was smoking hot. And I thought, Vice President, yeah, tell me more about seeing Russia from your house. I would have listened the whole time. So, but is there a Hustler video? Oh, Nail and Palin. I would have spent good money on that. And then all from there, it's all kind of been a joke. So anyway, luckily for you, that's it. This is over. The nightmare has ended. You can now enjoy your night. So, is that it? Yeah, okay. Take care.
Yeah, keep going for Cody, everybody. Bob Dole likes that. Bob Dole likes that.
I'm Bob Dole.
Whoa, shit, this microphone.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Turn-